Everyone knows that the world's finest cooks are men, especially when it comes to barbecuing. Well, naturally, there are some fine women cooks, too. But even an expert like Helen Evans Brown, who enjoys an international reputation as a food authority and whose many books are bestsellers in the realm of cooking, says that outdoor cookery is really a job for the man of the house. And Mrs. Brown's favorite outdoor chef is Mr. Brown, Philip, whom she enjoys assisting. The first factor in barbecuing is a proper fire, which Philip builds in an open-ended coffee can, punched with vent holes. He first uses charcoal briquettes, which have been soaked in odorless paint thinner. He then places untreated briquettes on top. When the coals are red and glowing, they are spread out to provide an even cooking area. Note that a solid bed of coals is not required. The second factor in barbecuing is the imaginative seasoning of the food. With hamburger, for instance, Mrs. Brown recommends just salt, pepper, and a full-bodied red wine to add flavor interest to the meat. Wine, incidentally, is a fine tenderizer for unground meats, such as chops, steaks, or roasts. The molded hamburger patties may be interlaid with slices of cheese, or if you prefer, with deviled ham, pitted olives, or slices of onion. During cooking, the wine alcohol evaporates, but the wine's aroma permeates the meat to create a dish of tantalizing appeal and flavor. To marinate shrimps or other seafoods, Helen combines 1 part of soy sauce with 1 part of salad oil and 2 parts sherry wine. The shrimp should marinate for at least an hour and then be placed on skewers. If wooden skewers are used, they should first be soaked in water to prevent burning. Such foods can be cooked most conveniently on a small portable grill, which can be carried to the picnic or barbecue table. And the result, tasty, tender shrimps on skewers, shrimps en brochette. To baste a turkey or not to baste? That is the question. Philip belongs to the basting school. His mixture, 1 part salad oil to 1 part vermouth, plus normal seasoning. The end product is a thing of beauty. Juicy, succulent turkey with a flavor to excite the most discriminating appetite. For a more unusual approach, Philip and Helen start with a frozen turkey, which their butcher has sawed for them into 1-inch slices. A marinade is prepared of 1 part salad oil, 1 part white wine, plus salt, pepper, and tarragon. The frozen steaks are left to marinate until they are completely thawed. They are then separated into fillets, and the same marinade is brushed over them during cooking. barbecued turkey fillets, another gourmet's delight. It's fun to cook outdoors, and rewarding too, so long as you apply the principles of good flavor, subtle seasoning, and careful cooking over an open fire. So, a toast to good fellowship, and good luck to your adventures in outdoor cooking. In a sun-warmed northern California valley, where vineyards grow in rich abundance, there is a quaint house of earlier Western days, in which resides M.F.K. Fisher, author, lecturer, philosopher of food. Not a bearded Socrates, but a distinguished lady, once described by that noted critic Clifton Fadiman as the finest living gastronome author in English.
There is a communion of more than our bodies when bread is broken and wine is drunk. And that is my answer when people ask me, why do you write about hunger and not wars and love?
Mary Frances Fisher is more than a writer, however. She is also a mother, a homemaker, a gracious hostess. Always busy, but never too busy to extend a hand of hospitality. In her well-stocked home are ample ingredients to prepare tasty foods at a moment's notice. Or, paraphrasing her own book title, to cook a wolf in a hurry. For example, a quick but elegant soup can be concocted from a can of split peas, an equal amount of milk, and a can of minced clams. The soup is brought to a gentle bubbling, removed from the fire, and then at the last moment, a half cup of dry sherry wine is added. The alcohol will evaporate, but the aroma remains to give an otherwise simple dish an exciting flavor. For an easy but delightful fish dinner, Mary Frances likes fillets of sole, wrapped around pieces of dill pickle, preferably the kosher style, because of their good dill flavor. She adds a dry white wine, pieces of chopped bacon, and wraps the whole in foil. Cooking requires only 10 minutes in a preheated 450-degree oven, after which the foil is removed to give the bacon a moment or two to brown. A quick dish, but with a gourmet's touch. For an in-a-hurry meat dish, Mary Frances thinks lamb chops, good thick ones of course, are ideal. Her suggestion is, simply brown the chops, add whole tomatoes and season to taste. Then cook in a covered skillet for about 10 minutes. Just before finishing, add a cup of dry wine, either red or white, a wonderful tenderizer for meat, which also heightens flavor. And finally, with a topping of sweet butter, your main course is done. A quick but mighty savory creation. And for a light, refreshing dessert, how about this? A bowl of fruit from which the juice has been drained, flavored with port or other dessert wine, and sprinkled with brown sugar. Then at serving time, a bit of sherbet in the glass, a covering of the marinated fruit, and a touch of champagne to lend its zesty sparkle. A gracious way to compliment your guests. There is a communion of more than our bodies when bread is broken and wine is drunk, says Mary Frances Fisher. And who can say better than she, whose hours are filled with labor, but who is never too busy to express her hospitality? Good food, a few moments to prepare it, a bit of imagination. Those are the simple requirements. Or, as Mary Frances herself might say, just knowing how to cook a wolf in a hurry.
On your way home, pick up a few things for me, will you, dear?
Uh-huh.
I'll be so busy getting ready for the dinner party that I just won't have any time.
I'll take care of it. Don't worry.
It's late. You'd better hurry.
Oh, okay. Goodbye, sweetheart.
Bye. And don't forget the list.
Gee, honey, your table looks great.
Thank you, sir. And did you get all the things?
Sure did. Everything you ordered.
And more. Why in the world did you bring all
Well,
that?
actually, there's a good wine to suit every taste. And I wasn't too sure what you were serving tonight.
Well, first we're having hors d'oeuvres.
That calls for an appetizer wine, like sherry, perhaps.
Okay. Then we'll have roast beef. I suppose there's a special wine for that.
No rules. Drink the wine you like with whatever you like. I'd prefer a burgundy here. And I think I'll sample this one right now. And try out the new corkscrew. Let's see. Start in the center, all the way through the cork. No trouble at all.
You know, darling, this reminds me of our trip to the winery. That was a wonderful day.
It sure was. That's where I first learned about wines. Let's see, there are 3 steps in judging a fine wine. First, you look at the color. A good wine is always bright and clear. Next, you inhale the aroma and bouquet. Here, you try it. And finally, you sip it. You note the body. Judge how mellow or tart it is. This burgundy seems quite well balanced. But then I'm not an expert.
Oh, you're just being modest. Say, that gives me an idea. Cover up your eyes a minute.
Now, what are you up to?
You'll see in just a moment. If you can guess what type of wine this is, I'll give you a prize. Okay, now you can look.
That shouldn't be too hard. A light golden color, a fragrant bouquet, full-bodied. It tastes like a... No, wait. It's a sauterne.
You're right. And here's your prize.
Oh, come to the party. Come to the party.
Well, hi, Betty.
I hope we're not late.
What's new, Bob?
Not too much. Hello, Grace.
Hi, folks.
Well, say, what's all this?
We've invented a new game.
It's a wine tasting game. We call it What's My Wine?
Sounds like fun.
Sounds awfully tough to me.
Oh, it's not tough at all. All you have to do is fill your glass about 1/3 full with one of the numbered wines. Okay? First you look at it. Then you inhale the aroma. Then you just take a sip. Then you write down the type of wine